Test your sight. No, you're supposed to.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
You want to do it again?
Welcome back, everyone. I am joined with...
Bienvenido. I'm Elmo.
Okay. And we are back together again from my house to review Mortal Kombat 2021.
Whose house?
Felipe's house. Whatever you say.
We ask you get over here and listen to this educated discussion.
That's good. That's good. Test your patience with our topics.
You took that from me.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. So we both saw Mortal Kombat
in the same theater.
In the same theater.
It's just different
and
sides.
different seats because you couldn't.
Well, I wouldn't sit on
decide
your lap.
if you wanted to what.
I wouldn't sit on your lap. We would sit in different seats regardless.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, not
opposite side of the theater.
Opposite sides of the theaters because you couldn't decide in time if you wanted to join us, and then the seats were taken. So, anyways,
I want to sit next to
I was happy you were able to still make it. I was yelling across the theater, "Hey, what'd you think? You see that? You see Kano?"
It didn't help that I knew way too many people in that theater.
Yeah,
for various reasons.
Well, anyways, me and Elmo are big Mortal Kombat fans, and I was very, very excited when they announced this film. I enjoyed the originals enough because I got to see the characters I was a big fan of on screen. They weren't the best movies. One was pretty good. Two was funny to watch and laugh at due to some of the choices and decisions they made. But ultimately, I still watch them because, hey, my heroes are on screen, so why not? So once they announced this new movie, I was very hyped for it. And we just saw it. So we're here to tell you our thoughts. Elmo.
Liu Kang.
Johnny Cage. What are your overall thoughts on this film? We don't have to put a score to it yet. We will at the end. But overall, just what do you think? What do you think of Mortal Kombat?
I mean, my history of Mortal Kombat, I think actually starts with the movies. So my first experience with Mortal Kombat was the film.
Oh, dang. 1995.
Because my mom sure wasn't letting me play that as a kid. And I wasn't really going to arcades.
Some fan guys. My dad didn't care. Go ahead.
Well, there are only fans on this podcast,
yeah.
So either way, I am a fan. And I had so little hype for this movie.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's not like I was like,
well, that's good.
Suck. I went in with the most blank of expectations.
Okay.
Black Dynamite was not Jax, so I was like, it's not going to be as good as that little web series kind of deal they did a decade ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
So I was not underwhelmed with how I felt about that film. Okay. I was not overwhelmed. I was whelmed. You were whelmed. I was whelmed.
Okay. Okay. That's not. I was expecting more. Okay.
I keep going.
No. That's fine. That's fine. It's overall thoughts. We'll delve into it.
I was whelmed. More. That's my Mortal Kombat.
I liked the film. So there's that.
So you didn't love it. You didn't hate it. Sounds like you were whelmed.
I think I'm a little more high on the movie than you are. Okay. Because keep in mind, you're whelmed with no expectations. Mm-hmm. I had high expectations, and I still enjoyed myself. Okay. So I'll say I'm a little overwhelmed. I don't think that works. How are you saying that?
You're overwhelmed.
I am overwhelmed, sure. Anyways, I like the movie. So
no.
We're going to start a little on the negative side, just to get it out the way, because I have a lot of positive stuff I want to say. Let's start with what we didn't like. Elmo, what didn't you like about this film?
Can I get into spoilers? Or do you want to keep this
clean? Oh, yes. My bad. This is a spoiler cast. We will spoil the crap out of this movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. It's in theaters. It's on HBO Max. Pirate Bay. Just go watch it. Bay. Just go watch it. You back? All right. Thanks for joining us.
All right, so there's going to be spoilers.
Yes. So what didn't you like about Mortal Kombat 2021?
Shang Tsung sucks.
Yeah.
He
sucks. He was not good.
Just get the other guy. He could have done that. He didn't even do anything in the movie. He just walked around and sat. Just get the other guy.
He did something.
What's his name?
He did something.
Do you know the actor's name?
He massacred my boy.
He did. Okay, yeah, he did do that. That's originally what I was going to complain about.
Okay.
That scene. Not the scene itself, because it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. But
just how it happened.
The fact that it did happen. I hate Kung Lao. Like, I do not like him. Maybe it's because you are pretty good with him, and I just can't read him, and he sucks to fight against. And then in the games, he's always just like, oh, this freaking dude. Yeah. But I found myself very much enjoying the Kung Lao time that I got to.
Come on, that entrance?
That entrance was great. That may be the best shot in the movie. And I'm not trying to exaggerate. I legitimately think that the best cinematography in that film is that small moment.
Oh, dang. Okay.
For them, and just his personality, like, I was all on board. I was like, you know what? I'll take.
Because he's supposed to be a little cocky, a little cocky fart.
And that's never been a person in the games that I've come to enjoy. So for them to I was like begrudgingly liking him. I was like, man, they're making me like Kung Lao.
Man, this stupid. Look how cool he is over there.
And then I didn't need to like him anymore. And it's not like my other problem with this movie, which is Melina. Because like Melina can be solved. My problems with Melina can be solved. Okay. But the Kung Lao problem can be solved as well. But then you've kind of really lowered the stakes of all the movie. I'm still trying to be vague.
No. Spoil it.
All right, so he's dead.
Yeah, he died.
He died. And let me explain my Melina problem.
Okay. Melina in regards to this movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll try to just make it quick because I could really go forever for this. But she is a character that has this rich backstory that they could take advantage of. Mm-hmm. And that is in relation to Katana. Right. And they did not use it at all. Katana's fan is in the background at one point. I noticed that. So for them to not use any of that like rich content they could have. It's like someone
content with the K.
Yeah, it was the equivalent of someone having, you got this whole bag of hot fries. I'm gonna just throw it in the trash. I'll open it, but you can smell it, and then I'm throwing it in the trash.
In regards to her story,
this was the hot fry. They had this bag of hot fries. They just threw it away. They didn't even let me enjoy the hot fries.
Do you think they chose not to give too much of her story because they're like, all right, we can't give everyone's backstory because there's a lot of characters.
We need Cole Young. We need him. No, but I mean, it's just don't put her in that position. Like, don't use that character. But and just to get back to the Kung Lao because that's the point of this. That's a character that they made another one. You can make another Melina. Just put her like if you bring her back, it's not a big deal because there can be multiple Melinas.
Okay, because she's a clone, you mean?
Yeah. Okay. With a K. But if you bring back Kung Lao, then you've really lessened the stakes of all future deaths.
I think what they're going to do with Kung Lao, this is my... Oh, man, I guess we can... whatever. It doesn't have to be super structured, this cast. I think what they're going to do with Kung Lao...
Well, don't admit that. Like...
What? No, whatever.
It's very structured.
We have a structure, right there. But I'm going to deviate.
I'm reading the script right now.
Because I was going to say, what are our thoughts for the future? But I think what they're going to do with Kung Lao... Shang Tsung killed him, right? But not only did he kill him, he sucked his soul out.
Suck ends with a K.
Yeah. He sucked him out. His soul. And let me tell you, he's going to transform into Kung Lao next movie. And him and Liu Kang going to fight. And you saw how hurt Liu Kang was when his boy died. I was too. I was equally crying in the theater. And he's going to do that against him, and it's going to wreck him. So it's going to be a good fight. So, although Kung Lao is dead, this won't be the last we see of Kung Lao.
How disappointed are you going to be when that moment doesn't happen?
I will be very disappointed. But until then, I can dream.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. But they've still gotten rid of a character that I enjoy.
I get it, though. I mean, I knew no character was safe. It does suck, though. It's one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. So
I don't even like Kung Lao.
I know.
Man, I'm like honestly, like, you could have done that probably to anyone else.
And you would have been fine with?
I wouldn't have been as annoyed, weirdly enough. Okay. At least with the movie they set. Maybe with different actors, different lines, different direction. I don't know. I would have felt differently. But with the movie they presented to me, Kung Lao is the one that, of that group, made me the most, like, annoyed.
Okay. To piggyback on your problems with Melina, I didn't have that much of a problem with her. as a character or whatever. Like, yes, I would prefer the bigger backstory, but I already know it, so it's nothing crazy for me. However, I did not like the effect they used for her teleporting. It was very liquidy, and it looked like it was like a morph of jelly that she went in and then like teleported out. It was a weird effect, and I know they could do better effects, because when I get into what I did like later, there were some cool effects they used for certain characters. So it was just a strange choice that they had for Melina. But overall, I did like what they did. I'm
so starved for Melina content.
That you accepted it.
I was like, oh,
I was happy they did the teleporting. That was cool. And then she did it more than one time. So
that's her Arcana.
Yeah, her Arcana. Yeah. I think another thing that I didn't like about this movie is the fights were just a little too rushed. Some of them were over so quickly. I mean, as cool as Kung Lao fighting Natara was, which, by the way, the moment they introduced Natara, I was like, they brought her in to kill her. She's going to die. Someone's going to fatality her, because she's not that important. Right. But I saw her, I'm like, oh man, she looked kind of cool. Like, she kind of different than what I would expect her to be. And, yeah, man. All right. It's Kung Lao versus Natara. Here we go. One movie kills her. Mm-hmm. And of course he says, flawless victory. And of course I can't complain, because it was the fatality I wanted to see the most. Once I heard Kung Lao was in it, I'm like, oh, they better do that. They better do the Saw. And they did it. Yeah. And it looked so good, but it was over so quickly. I'm like, oh man, I wish he would have used the hat a little more and have her do some of her moves, shoot some blood at him or something. And then have it finish with that.
Well, they tried to sell that, like, that's how good he is. Like,
of course.
Flawless victory.
So that's what made Shang Tsung go, I choose you. And then he... that's it. No fighting. So, all right. You touched up on it earlier. Cole Young. What'd you think about him?
Whatever. I actually don't have much to say, I feel.
I thought I was going to hate him a lot more, but he's still completely unnecessary. I get why he's there. Like, you can't have it focus on like one character, because then we're gonna expect that character to be the winner at the end. So if it follows Liu Kang, like it did in the first movie, well, he's the one that's gonna be doing. So we need another person that's just kind of there to see these characters, and then whoever they choose to be the winner of the tournament, we'll see. I mean, it doesn't have to be Liu Kang. I don't know how accurate they're following. It doesn't look like they're gonna follow it that closely. So yeah, I don't know. It was fine the way they had him tied to be Scorpion's great granddaddy.
Striker, right?
What?
He has a baton.
I did not understand what his power was. Like, I got it at first, because in the beginning they were like, oh, he's a punching bag. I'm like, okay. And they said that a few times, but okay. And then, like, as he's getting hit, that's when it comes out. And then, like, he's getting hit and he's, like, absorbing the blows, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So that they said it earlier. He was a punching bag. He's absorbing these blows. He's going to shoot him back out or something. No, he grows a baton and a sword thing.
I think they're called tonfas.
Okay, but, like, why? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It was a weird choice to me.
He's Striker. He's going to wear a hat. Because they can't include Striker anymore.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because that just...
Yeah.
That's...
What's the line he said?
I don't even want to say it.
No, do it.
Police brutality coming up in MK9.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore. So... don't expect to see Stryker in any of the apparent 4 movies that are still coming out.
RoboCop should have just been him.
Yeah.
They could have... Anyway. But regarding Cole Young, I originally thought when I saw the trailer, I was like, where the heck is Johnny Cage?
Oh, okay. A lot of people thought he was Johnny Cage.
I thought that he was gonna, like, at the end, he'll be like, I'm gonna go, I go by Johnny Cage now. I was like, okay, fine, sure. And then at the end, when he does say to the, whatever, manager.
I'm going to Hollywood?
I'm like, oh, they're doing it.
He's got to be Johnny Cage.
But then they quickly showed, he's not Johnny Cage.
No.
I was like, but I was like, okay. Even though it doesn't, I mean, if he's going to link up with Sony at some point, then...
Yeah.
Then that didn't make sense.
Or do you think that when they introduce him, he'll already have a history? Like, oh, I remember you from...
That'd be dumb.
Okay.
That creates a problem that I think, like, when I think of Harry Potter, kind of like, oh, everyone knows each other kind of problem. I'm sorry, Star Wars. Thinking Star Wars. Like, it makes the world seem really small.
Okay.
Like if she happens to know Johnny Cage on a personal level.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think it would be funny. It would, yeah. I think it would be funny to see him kind of like having the hots for her and her like not wanting any of it, and then towards the end or whatever. They've done it before, but
yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't know what the relationship he had with this girl and the woman was. For a while.
I thought it was that was his stepdaughter, and then that was like his girlfriend. Because I don't remember her calling her dad until the very end.
I think she does, yeah.
Well, I don't remember it in the beginning. I know she does in the end.
She treats him like one.
Right.
But she has some like Asian look, like. So there was some like elements of her that seemed slightly Asian, and he had definitely some descent with the Hanzo Hasashi connection. Yeah. But during the whole movie, and I could have missed it. I was trying hard. I kept looking at his left hand. I'm like, does he have a wedding ring? Like, is he married to her? Like, I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
And I did my best, and I'm pretty sure no wedding ring.
Okay.
So, not married. So, may not be his biological daughter.
Okay.
But they sure weren't going to take any time to explain that one. Because they had to explain everything else.
I have a lot of stuff to explain. Anything else you didn't like? Because I got one more thing. I just want to see if you have anything else.
I do not care for, okay, this isn't, I guess, a complaint as much, but, like, we're in this universe that Harry Potter exists,
okay,
but not Mortal Kombat. So they're playing with, like, rules that, like...
Well, obviously.
I know,
I can see Kano. Oh, man, I was playing you the other day on my PS4.
I get that. But it did... when they did that Harry Potter line, like, I snorted in the theater.
Yeah.
I don't snort.
Yeah.
I don't know, this is cocaine. Anyway, joking. But... Like, I had a snort laugh. And I don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, that really got me, that Harry Potter line.
Yeah.
And...
You said a lot of things. Magic Mike?
Yeah. The Harry Potter line just
of course.
Really got me. I'm laughing about it now. But then it just made me think, like, so like, what world is this where... Anyway.
You think about it too much.
That's my job.
I can almost guarantee you a lot of those scenes were improvised. That was just him. They're like, you know what, Kano?
No, this isn't The Office where everything is improvised and it's actually written.
My one last thing, I guess, and there's a plethora of things that can be seen as negative or whatever, but the main thing I really didn't like, and you kind of brought it up too off air, Raiden's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Were just a little on the cheesy side. Yeah, it could have been done better, but my main problem was Raiden in general. He just didn't seem godly. Like, he's a god. Like, he's supposed
to... god.
He's not that one. Splash. He's supposed to have, like, an intimidating presence. And I never felt that from him. As goofy as the other two Raidens were in the original movies, like, I felt like they did a better job of portraying, like, hey, I'm a little bit of a higher being than you guys. Mm-hmm. You know, like... a mystical whatever, and yeah, it was cool. I mean, the effects were cool of the electricity whenever he would like teleport out or whatever, but he himself, like, there was just something with the way he like spoke. Like, a lot of the times I really couldn't understand him, and I know he's an Asian actor and he's got kind of like a thicker accent. I think probably the thickest of any of the characters they had in the movie, but yeah, man, like, I feel like someone like Raiden, like, he should have a strong, clear voice. Like, you know what he's saying. And I could not understand him sometimes. So that was something that I wasn't too fond of, just Raiden in general.
I didn't personally have any problems understanding him, but I could definitely see, like...
I got there. I got the gist.
I watched so much Japanese fiction in the cinema that I hated it all. And then, I did catch it, but I definitely did catch myself being like, I had to think a little more. But... I more think he didn't seem otherworldly. This is why I'm bringing it up. He didn't seem like an elder being based on his actions. Like, he was... Was he trying to be like... When he was crapping on everybody, you will never be trained well enough. You should just all go home. Like, was he trying to be like... Oh, I'm gonna give them some passion for this. I'm gonna motivate them by saying they suck.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
But that was never clarified.
No, it just looked like he really hated everybody.
Yeah, he just seemed like a jerk. And then he's like, I can't get involved. And then he does get involved. And then he's like when what's his name? Tony Cole Young.
What?
And when Cole Young's like, I thought you couldn't get involved. And he's like, he just gives him, I don't remember what does he even say anything? Or he gives him a look?
when he sends Shang Tsung away, he's like, he talks too much or something. But then he's like,
Well, he said he couldn't get involved because he gave him the Hisashi dagger or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know. I forgot what he says.
I think he gives him a
He might as well just been like neither should he or something.
He just put his arms in there. Like, he might as well. That would have been more interesting than anything else he did in that movie. He just seemed just like... Is he actually talking? He says, I gotta talk to the elder gods. I didn't buy that he's talking to anybody.
He just going to his room and playing Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, he was.
Not the actor. Like, that is totally on the script.
Yeah. So, both the two big bads, Shang Tsung and Raiden, both underwhelming. So.
Well, Raiden's not a big bad.
Or, well, big pillars, of each side. All right. Now.
You wanted to talk positives? Because I feel like we could talk about negatives for a while. Like, I could go on and on.
There's a lot of little...
it'd be so nitpicky. Like,
there's a lot of little negatives that we can definitely pick at. But let's switch the conversation over to something a little bit more positive. What did you like about Mortal Kombat 2021?
Kano was cool. And that he was a good guy for
a while.
5 minutes.
It was very off-putting to see Kano and Sonya obviously still hating each other, but not like wanting to kill each other every second of every day.
This is where I think being an English teacher and someone who's like constantly looking at literature and stories, it kind of works out for me, because you would think like, oh, he studies a lot of that. I was gonna say garbage. It's not garbage, but I am exposed to so much that like, oh, it must be predictable. But like, I know how. I don't want to sound pretentious here, but I know how the writing process goes, and like, you have this whole book, you have this whole page, you can go wherever direction you want. So when I have moments like this that people probably find really predictable, like my brain starts thinking of so many different possibilities that like a Kano turning on them, it didn't cross my mind, because I'm like, oh, they could go in so many different cool directions.
Yeah,
and of course they go in the most obvious direction, but my brain is just wired at this point.
Well, because he fooled you too, just like he fooled the team. Like, you're like, oh, maybe this one isn't too bad. Like, he clearly is a douche, but he's civilized and eating the next everybody.
He had to be evil at some point. I just didn't know when, and they included that Cabal line. Like, yeah, I don't like that guy. Then I was like, oh, maybe he won't listen to Cabal and there'll be something, but obviously there wasn't. And then he just that garden gnome foreshadowing. They really had. That
with the loogie.
Yeah, like,
oh boy.
But I'm sure a lot of people like saw that coming a mile away. But I was right there with you. I'm like, dang it. Like, I kind of liked where he was at, because I wanted more interactions, like poking fun interactions that they was having with everybody, and now we're not going to get that. Now it's going to just be a fight. So yeah, I have it written down here as well. Kano was hilarious. That's what I put. So it was very fun. More and keep in mind, I hate Kano in any iteration. Even the first movies and the games, I don't like him, and they made me like Kano. He's just nasty.
He sucks, and he still sucks in this one. But he was funny.
They made me like Kano and Luke and Kung Lao.
Yeah.
So,
another thing I really liked, Jax, and most specifically his origin of how he got the arms. I thought it was really cool that Sub-Zero was the one that snapped his arms off, because that wasn't the case before. I don't remember what the case was, but I know that wasn't it.
I don't know. When I saw that, I was like, oh, they're doing that. Like, in my head, that's what happened.
I don't think that's what happened. But I might be wrong.
I wish it wasn't spoiled in the trailer.
Yeah. There was some things that were needed in the trailer to build hype. Like, that was one of them. I think that worked. Because I was like, oh, like when that happened in the trailer, I'm like, that's how he loses his arms. Because in Annihilation, that movie, he just had his arm. He just put on like metal sleeves, and then at the end he takes them off and he saw his arms. I thought it was cool that he just lost them. Like, that's it.
I don't like how he got them. These monks just have this really like far in the future technology that it's still
there's Arcana everywhere, man. There's Arcana out the wazoo.
It's kind of crap, but it's still impressive.
Yeah,
like they made the dinkiest. Like, what do they think
that was and then hilarious. He can't punch
on. They're like, and Raiden's like, you guys suck, and I'm like, yeah, but your guys,
they're not that much better.
I mean, granted, he got himself in that situation.
Yeah,
but I need to go on another dislike.
Oh, okay.
I need to go on another dislike. We're breaking the format real quick. I don't know how rich Mortal Kombat is with its locales, but there was some we're gonna fight in a gym, in in an abandoned warehouse. There were not very many cool locales.
I did notice that as well with the locales and that they reused them a lot. Like the same gym that he was training at and doing the beginning scene, they just used it again. They just froze it, and then he was back he was back there. The typical cave that everyone was fighting in.
Yeah.
You know, just little things like that. They keep going back and forth.
But I'll go to something positive.
Okay.
Because I know that's what we're in. I'm sure someone hated it. But that stupid scene where he was sweeping the leg.
Oh, yes.
And then Kano jumps as he jumps. I was just like, all right.
Yeah, because they played to the memes of everyone spamming.
I've done that to Felipe so many times.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Going back to Jax, I just like Jax. I was unsure about this guy, and I thought he had some funny lines. He didn't have enough lines, but the ones he said, like after his fatality, like that's Jax right there.
And he really lucked out with Arcana.
He did. That was a good one. Here's another character that I normally don't like, and only recently they made him kind of cool. But in this movie, he was really cool. They made Cabal look cool. Yeah. Like, he had a weird voice, but I really liked that. It was very unique to him. Like, he had like a weird like accent. I couldn't tell what it was.
That was cool with him.
Yeah, and then like the effects of him like zooming by with like the pink dust trails. It was sick. It was really, really good. Like I was really impressed with what the effects they used with Cabal. Cabal. I thought it was really good, and I was very happy with him. And I usually don't like him either. Like I never choose him, but they made him look cool, and he was a force to be reckoned with in the movie. What did you think about the Arcana? Like, what did you think about how that tied into the movie? Because that's new. Never been a thing to my knowledge.
Arcana with a C. I was like, okay, they need a way to justify all this.
I think
they're not going to go the military like upgrade route. So, like with Sonya and Jax, like I had assumed like, oh, he'll get some like high grade.
Oh, gotcha.
Military.
The only one I didn't like it for was for Jax. How that worked for him, the Arcana being unlocked or whatever. But I get it. I think ultimately just Arcana in general, it worked enough to justify these characters suddenly getting superpowers.
I just thought it was a way to like write themselves out of a corner. Like they saved themselves 8 minutes by just it's Arcana. Go on.
Getting rid of training montages and stuff like that of Sonya somehow learning to shoot blasts, but now she's got it.
I would have been cool with that. I guess.
I would have been fine with it too.
This was a TV series, I guess.
Exactly. For a movie, I think it worked fine enough. So that was one of the positives, that they were able to give a reason for all this happening and have it make sense in quotes.
I can't wait till they get Stryker in there, because his Arcana is just shooting a gun.
We explained Stryker already. Anything else you liked?
I liked Sonya a lot.
Same.
I was really cool with her.
Yeah, I did. I didn't think I was like her because I saw the actress. I'm like, I don't know, that doesn't look like Sonya to me.
I'm so
that was
over
Sonya
Ronda Rousey's voice for her that I guess anything would have been good. But I was like, this feels like a Sonya to me.
Yeah, no, she was good. I liked her a lot by the end. I'm like, this is Sonya.
I would use her in a game.
Okay. I really like Sub-Zero's. I like Sub-Zero.
Yeah, that's your guy.
That's my guy, and I think they did right. It pains me to see him as the original Sub-Zero, the evil one, which I guess is a positive that we can dive into a little bit more here.
Yeah, why are we not talking about the intro?
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's a huge positive. That's probably the biggest positive out of the whole movie, really.
Yeah. I don't know how we got to that or how we missed it, but yes, that intro was really well done, and it was cool to have the backstory explained, especially for audiences that enough.
Why do the Lin Kuei hate Hanzo?
Rival clans, that's it. I mean,
they didn't even say that much.
Why do Bloods hate Crips? Like, I mean, it's the same thing.
That's a deep issue.
And so is the rivalry.
Anyway.
Whatever. It was enough.
It was not well explained. That is where I take.
Well, what I mean is
umbrage.
A lot of people people at work and stuff that aren't too familiar with Mortal Kombat but still saw this movie, they came to me, a few of them, and were like, yeah, I didn't know Sub-Zero was a bad guy. I thought Scorpion was the bad guy. So, and then I briefly explained, how that went down, and the Sub-Zero that you see in the future is the brother and everything like that. So I had a lot of people tell me that. that don't play the games, just non-gamers that were just excited about the movie. Mm-hmm. And I think this did a good job of letting modern audiences know how it's supposed to, or how it is. Mm-hmm. So Sub-Zero, not a good guy. Right. And I don't know if they'll go the route in the future. I don't know if they'll bring Quan Chi into this, where he was technically like under Quan Chi's spell when he did it. I don't think they're doing that route.
They already mentioned Tobias in the movie. They got Noob Saibot in.
Well, yeah, I mean that was the teaser in the end when he took off all his armor. He was in the straight black, mm-hmm. like, and then like the director said that was intentional. Mm-hmm. They're like, that's what the clothes that he died in for a reason. So when he comes back,
oh man, he's so happy he didn't have one of those like good little bracelets with respect everyone. It's like a rainbow.
Well, anyways, yeah. So I think they did a good job in the beginning to set up this rivalry and give a good backstory for the two most popular characters in Mortal Kombat. I mean, by far. So
Cassie Cage is
not in this movie at all. And I was really happy with how they did everything. I mean, the gore was another thing we can touch up on later, but I really liked how they just didn't hold back for a lot of the stuff. I feel like they could have gone even further with a lot of the things, but whatever. There was a lot more.
The loud part of that was enough.
In the first 3 minutes, there was more gore than any of the previous two Mortal Kombat. So, well, there you go. So, I don't know, man. Sub-Zero and Scorpion hype each time. Hype in the beginning, and then during the finale between the two. I mean, it was so good, man. Just the choreography between them mm-hmm. was fantastic.
I think it was lessened by the environment.
Yeah, I wish it was better.
The final battle in the gym just didn't feel like...
It made it seem more like it was more like Sub-Zero's domain, because technically it was.
But it was Cole Young's domain.
Not really, because Sub-Zero...
It was his gym?
Well, that was it. He took his gym.
There. His daughter taught him about uppercuts there.
He took his daughter, his girlfriend, and his gym, and froze it all. And
but didn't kill them.
Well, no.
Like Hisashi.
Yeah. Whatever.
I don't know why they made it. When they died, I was like, oh. When I thought they were dead, I was like, okay, I'm in. And then they're not dead. I was like, oh. Not that I...
Wait, you were in all the way to the end? Like you weren't in before?
It's just like... that battle meant more to me when they were dead.
Oh, okay.
But they weren't dead.
Okay.
So it kind of just felt like okay.
Well, he didn't have... they could have been dead.
Why write it like that?
I don't know.
Why put them in that position? Show them still... Like, it seemed lame.
Okay. But we're in the positive section, Elmo.
I just said...
Get off your high horse.
I did like how...
And jump into the positive pool.
Spent decades in hell learning 3 words in English so he could come back and say, get over here in English to Bihan.
I don't care. It was cool.
It was fun, yeah. Those two did so well. I feel like they deserve better. This is the positive, so I'll phrase that in a positive way. Those two are so great, and I hope in the sequel they get even more time to shine.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's what we'll talk about, what we think was going to happen in the future or what we can do to improve it. But yeah, we're still on the positive. So just like a little, if you want to do like a little quick fire round or something, it's just like, I like this. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. All right. Reptile. That wasn't Reptile, but it was one of his species. He looked really good. Like when he was visible, they did a really good job on his special effects. So just a little something a little nod their way. What? You didn't like Reptile?
This is the positives.
I should have known. There's no positives with you. You're always on the negative with everything. I'm about to say one. Okay, go ahead.
I really like... It seems very wrestling-like, but like, oh, you kill someone, you get their tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's kind of dumb, but I enjoyed... Like,
I was going to mention that earlier. Yeah, it's weird, whatever that is, the symbol, but that makes sense for... Well, not makes sense, but it does enough to explain why these guys are specifically chosen. Like, why? Well, because they killed someone that was a chosen, and that's why. Like, they might not want to, but now that they are, mm-hmm. That's it. Unless they get killed, it's either that or you help.
It's dumb, but it's the kind of dumb that I'm okay with.
Okay. Melina, when she finally busts it wide open with her mouth, mm-hmm. I like that. It looked good. So, yeah.
I liked Sub-Zero. He's a legitimate threat in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of made him almost seem like his own horror movie.
Yeah, he was menacing.
Kind of deal.
Like walking out through the street, just...
Mm-hmm. Kind of made him OP to the point where it was like, why didn't he win in every fight later? Like,
I like the cool like exit he did when he was standing by the door and all the mist sucks him like in and like he like disappears.
You noob.
That was a hint at it.
Yeah, the hint at it.
Yikes.
Hint at it. Okay. All right, your turn.
Probably due to Kano, but there was I laughed a lot more in this movie than I thought I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't always just Kano, just little things like when Liu Kang and Kung Lao were like making fun of him and like, oh, you're like a...
Well, it's still with Kano.
Well, yeah, but it's still them saying the lines, you know, like, you're like a impatient bunny rabbit that doesn't know what he's doing or whatever, you know, little things like that. So just...
So Kano.
No.
They were saying it at Kano.
They were saying it at Kano.
Kano gets the credit there.
But no.
Kano gets the credit.
I don't think so.
Kano gets the credit. That's how character writing works. You ever watch The Office?
I have.
Without that Jim Dwight dynamic, those lines aren't as funny. So he's half that joke. He's 1/3 of that joke.
Okay.
They do something that I was originally not even thinking they were able to pull off.
Oh.
Like, did you have any like, oh, they're not going to get that right, and they did. Like, is there anything like that for you? Because I have one for me, but I know that's such a weird specific thing. Because I went into this movie thinking like, with such low expectations, and maybe it was like, it's not going to be good. No. So when they pulled it off, I was like, oh, okay.
What okay, give me an example. So maybe I have one.
So I really thought like the way they were going to get Kano his eye laser.
Okay.
And this is why I'm thinking of it, because you're mentioning that scene. I was like, how's he going to get messed up? And how's he going to get laser eyes?
Yeah.
But then they gave it a justification for him just having laser eye.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And even during the movie, I was like, it's going to be so dumb. And then when they did it, I was like, I'm okay with this.
Well, it was the Arcana.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, I was just like, how he got his specifically. I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. And it was just like, I'm like, it was almost like I'm going to go Super Saiyan kind of deal. Like, to get it, you have to be really angry and transform.
Be pushed.
And just that whole deal, like, especially as they were mentioning Arcana, like, whatever. And it just consistently was like, okay. Sonya's, I didn't feel as strongly on.
It was too quick, and then they just suddenly, she came out of nowhere, and then just
gone?
Destroyed Melina.
Yeah. But I feel like that could have been filmed a little differently. Yeah. To make it a little more, give it a little more clarity.
There was definitely some weird editing choices in this movie that I guess I could have brought up during the negatives, but whatever, nothing too crazy, like nothing too bad. But yeah, I mean, just overall, they did justice to most of the characters they had on the screen. Oh, we already passed the negatives. When you broke the rule already. I gotta say it, man. Raiko, what a waste. General Raiko, dude. Raiko? I had to second guess when they said it. I'm like, Raiko? Like, I was looking behind the guy with the hammer. I was like, where's Raiko? And then I was like, that's not Raiko. Like, the Raiko that I'm used to, yeah, eventually he gets kind of like a weird mohawk ponytail thing, which is what this guy kind of had. And he gets a hammer, but it was never that big of a hammer. And Raiko was always kind of like a smaller guy. He actually almost resembled a ninja. Like, I know it's good to deviate from that because there's enough ninjas in Mortal Kombat, but they could have done something a little different. And he always had like a little mask. And in this one, they just had weird tattoos that kind of formed a mask. And the dude never said anything. He just yelled the whole time.
I think he had a line once.
Maybe.
He said something to Jax.
You suck or something. I don't know. But whatever. So one of the positives when he got killed, I was very happy. Yeah, the fatalities, one of the positives I want to mention. I'm just so happy that they're here. They were never in the originals. I mean, I think they said it like once or twice. I think Shao Kahn like snapped Johnny Cage's neck, but that's nothing cool. Like here, you got the saw, you got Liu Kang doing his fire dragon, you got Jax doing the head smash, you got Sonya knocking all of Melina's guts out and just leaving the spine barely hanging on. You got Goro being taken out, like getting his hand sliced, and then all his guts falling before he falls, and he gets the thing stabbed in his eye. And same deal with Kano, stabbed in the same eye. So I was happy. And then, of course, freaking Scorpion doing his famous fire spit or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they had a lot of them.
That Kung Lao one was so visually striking that all the other ones seemed tame in comparison.
Oh, to the Kung Lao one? Yeah.
Because that one was just
there was just blood squirting on his face and everything.
As I said, I knew some of the people, I knew a fair amount of people in that theater.
Yeah.
And knowing that they know nothing about Mortal Kombat, especially some in particular. I'm a teacher. There were a lot of students at this movie theater.
Okay.
In this specific theater. And knowing, I see them as like little punks in the room. And that Kung Lao part happens.
Yeah.
I know for a fact because it came up in class later.
Yeah.
This past week. And it was definitely like, ooh, I just saw something with these people that I didn't ever think I'd see.
Okay.
And all the other, like, just even like Liu Kang's like super fire dragon. I'm sure there's a name for it.
Yeah.
It never hit the top of the brutality of the Kung Lao one.
Right.
So I almost feel like maybe the order should have been switched.
Yeah, whatever. They have to end with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Like,
I thought that was the tamest one.
It was just fire. I mean, to me, fire never seems like anything crazy. So,
come over here. Let's go to your stove.
You mean get over here? Yeah.
Come on out.
So yeah, just and to touch up it one more time. Like I didn't really bring in the specifics, but just the choreography during the Sub-Zero Scorpion fight at the end, there was a lot of neat stuff done with that spear, him catching it, him sticking the sword on the ground, doing some fights, and then throwing Sub-Zero at the sword and having him hit it. And just little things like that. Obviously, the cool scene that everyone's seen in the trailer when Sub-Zero freezes his blood and stabs him with it, and creates the ice wall, throws Scorpion through it. So there were just a lot of creative uses that some of which were never even in the games during that fight. And I'm like, this is good, man. This is really good.
That should have been the movie.
What?
Should have been more focused on them than.
I mean, I was happy with the amount that we got. So, all right. Anything else? You want to talk about the future? What we think is going to happen, or what do you want? Like, what do you want from the next Mortal Kombat? So we got this. Do you want to give it a score now before we say what we want, or do you want? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Using your terrible scale, what score would you give Mortal Kombat 2021?
A 1 is awful. A 2 is this isn't that good. A 3 is good. 4 is great. 5 is must watch. This is a 3.
Which is good.
It's good.
Okay. Out of the better scale that I use, out of the 10-point scale, using 0.5.
So that's not a 10-point scale.
Well, yeah, you're right. 20 point, but out of 10. My bad. Uh-huh. Here's the way I'll say it. Ultimately, it's going to be the latter number. The movie is a 6. Okay? It's okay. However, my love for the characters and my nostalgia and all the knowledge I have behind this, all included, makes this a 7.5 for me.
Okay.
So, you take away my love for this, for all these characters and for Mortal Kombat in general, not the best movie. But you throw them in there, I like this movie, man.
That sounds like you're describing it like an 8.
No.
You're describing it
it's
like
not
an
that 8. It's almost great, but it's not.
An 8 is great?
It is great, yes.
Awesome.
It rhymes, so that's how it works.
9 is
9 and amazing rhyme as well. So
10. Watch it again.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that was our scores. You mentioned something earlier before the cast. What happened with the Bihan's actor?
Yeah. That he signed on to do 4 films?
Yes. If you had to guess how many?
I'll be honest, there's a part of me that's like, we're not getting it too.
Really? Dude, you saw how many people were at the theater.
I know.
You did not see how many people were at Godzilla vs. Kong. There was more people for Mortal Kombat than Godzilla vs. Kong.
But you're getting more of a... Anyway, we don't need to get into that. But...
And also, it broke records on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was the most, like, of anything that released on it so far has had the most views. So there's a lot of hype. And, like, I'm telling you, like, there was people at Best Buy, or where I work,
mm-hmm.
where I used to work, soon. Just people that just wanted to watch it just because they know Mortal Kombat, even though they're not gamers,
mm-hmm.
you know? So I don't know. I feel like
I've seen better. I don't want to like hate on this, but I've seen better films not make it to the sequel route.
The thing is, though, with the better films, there's usually a crazy budget associated. I don't think this movie had that big of a budget. Like, they did as you saw, with just the sets in general. Like,
I saw Ready Player One.
Okay.
So that is a great film. No.
It was not. But that budget was huge.
Are they getting a second one?
Space Jam.
It's
the same thing. All the characters, Iron Giant is back.
Doesn't make it a sequel. He's a great basketball player. You know what I mean. I'm just joking. He's a great basketball player.
He is.
He can dunk.
He can dunk with his finger.
Yeah.
All right. What did you want if they do make the sequel, which they will? But if they do, what did you want? This
conversation makes me realize it probably should be a TV show. To get really what I want, I would prefer it to be a TV show.
Yeah, I would prefer the same thing.
I don't know. They need to just talk to the people who not filmed, but like MK11, like the camera work on that movie. I was on that game.
Yeah,
doing this in the stories, where there were several points where I was like, why isn't this just a movie? And I know that's different because you're like, there's so much. This is
a continuation. You're not starting all over.
There's less limitations when you're working with CG.
Yeah.
Because you can put that camera anywhere.
Exactly. Any environment you want.
Yeah. So I know there's a difference in the filmmaking process, but just get them. Just have them do it.
Yeah.
I just want to get to Cassie Cage already.
But now we know. No. But now we know what they have set. So using the knowledge of what you just saw, you kind of know where their head's at. You see the formula that they're building. What would you want them to? Because obviously they're teasing.
They could spend this whole second movie and still not get to the tournament.
Here's the deal.
Which is crazy if they don't, but...
They need to get to the tournament in the next movie. However, I'm with you. I don't think they will. Because they still have to go to Edenia. They gotta find Katana. You're gonna find Jade there. You're gonna find, I don't know who else. If they want to use more current, Kotal Khan is gonna be there. Like, you're gonna see... They gotta find Baraka. I don't know. Like, they still have a lot of characters they need to bring onto the task force.
Putting them going directly into the tournament could save them a lot of time. But then I feel like we're just gonna build to that Liu Kang win against.
I have a feeling they're not gonna have that. We'll see.
There's so much.
Well, no, the tournament is. I don't know. Yeah, we'll
Goro's gone.
They got Kentaro. They got sure. What's his name?
Mintaro. I don't know.
Motaro.
Boruto.
They got MODOK. Or
what? MODOK?
No, not MODOK.
You're thinking something else.
No, I think it is MODOK.
Is there MODOK? Okay. I've been seeing too many ads on Instagram for that other MODOK. There's so much they could introduce that the tournament could like rush it along decently.
You have so much what?
There's so much that they could rush through should they go straight to the tournament.
Yeah.
Or this sequel is find the 7 Dragon Balls, find the teammates, and put them.
I feel like that's what this movie was, though. So I was like, it'll be.
But then it ends with them searching.
Well, for more. So like, he wasn't
done.
So
is the next movie them finding them, or are they found already?
It's gotta be them finding it. That's the saying. Like, if they do get to the tournament, it better be the second whole half of the movie. Mm-hmm. But I don't want the other stuff to be rushed either. Like, are they really gonna give us Johnny Cage that quickly? Does he have a mark? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
that would be implied because he was on the list.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're implying he's on the list at least. That Raiden said, "I'll find the list," because apparently it's very easy to find the people. You could give them a radar.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of holes if we dig in that route. So let's keep moving. But
do you think for Katana, do you think they're going to use the same actress as Melina? Just not have her look gross?
They should.
That's what I think.
I would be mad if they don't.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't make sense in the game at least.
She looks really nice, like in normal, like prettied up, like not with terrible teeth and war paint covering her scars. So I wouldn't mind seeing her as Katana. What do you want to be Johnny Cage?
It's just cheating because he's already doing it pretty much. But there's this wrestler named The Miz.
Yeah, everyone's saying that. He's campaigning hard. He wants that so bad.
They should just give it to him.
No, I don't want
it. He could pull it off. He already is pulling it off. He's been playing that character for like 3 or 4 years now.
Okay.
They won't do it, but
you saw what's going on with Ryan Reynolds?
No.
He's aware he's up for the casting and everyone wants him. And he himself posted himself as Johnny Cage. That's too big.
I don't want that.
I would prefer Chris Pratt over if you're going big. But they already set the standard that they're not getting anyone huge. Big.
That's why you get The Miz. You get Mike Mizan. He's not getting Johnny Cage. Sorry, he's not getting Ryan Reynolds money.
That's true.
He's not gonna get. I mean, you want to go get John Cena. It won't make any sense.
No, don't get John Cena.
John Cena.
He's too big, dude. He's too huge. He would stick out.
You mean physically?
Physically, yes.
Not like he's too big of a name.
That too.
He looks good in that Fast trailer.
He looks great in freaking Suicide Squad. Those biceps are ridiculous. It's making me question who I am. All right. Anything else you want from the future Mortal Kombat movies? Anything you want them to fix? Be like, you know what? Don't do this. Or, you know what? Do this.
I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. But don't kill people I like. Don't do that to
me. Mean, come on.
I know.
They gotta make it. I know. Okay. To piggyback off that. If you're going to kill someone, make it be a better death than just randomly being chosen by Shang Tsung. And he's like, you know what? I choose you.
If they were going to do that, Shang Tsung should have done more in that movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or, and this applied to the original Mortal Kombat, he was just the leader of the tournament or whatever. So whenever, he would supervise the matches and whenever one would get defeated, he wouldn't choose their souls. That's the catch.
We're not getting this tournament in the second one, man. They've built Shang Tsung as the big bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, and they don't have to follow this theory, the next movie should deal with him as the main antagonist. Right. So unless you do some JRPG, there's a real final boss and Shao Kahn.
Well, the Shao Kahn won't come into the play until they lose the tournament. That's how it always works.
So
Shang Tsung is the guy kind of heading it, and then once they lose, as you saw, it was supposed to open up Outworld, and everyone's supposed to come in. If he fails at that, Shao Kahn's gonna be breaking the rules. Like, you know what? Screw this.
But
I'll be upset.
So, but unless they do like you said, the second half of the movie, I don't know. Just the way they've built it so far, Shang Tsung being the main antagonist has to happen.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think we're ready for Shao Kahn yet.
I don't think that movie.
We can see him.
Will be well captained if that is your main antagonist, because it's pretty much Sub-Zero. And he was the real. He was the real force. Without that,
though, like I said, I feel like they're gonna do better with Shang Tsung in the future. Like, he's gonna have some tricks up his sleeve. Again, he's gonna throw that Kung Lao. I guarantee that's happening. Okay. You don't have a character like Kung Lao die for a reason and have him be that attached to Liu Kang if he's not going to use him.
My expectations, even though I was okay with this movie, are so low for a sequel. I'm going to continuously have low expectations and be pleasantly surprised, and that's fine with me.
Okay. All right, well.
I have no faith.
Well, that kind of sucks to end on.
But I'll probably like the next one.
Okay. All right, everybody. Those were our thoughts.
I'm willing to be entertained. I am ready to be engaged in Mortal Kombat visually. They just gotta make it. I'll be there.
You'll be there?
I'll be there.
Me too. Thank you for listening, everybody. Those were our thoughts on Mortal Kombat 2021. I hope you...
Flawless podcast.
There's definitely some flaws in this podcast. Keep it educated.
Are you not editing?
Keep it educated. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, we'll do it at the same time.
All right, ready? Keep it educated. So which one do I say?
It's test your might, test your luck. What else is there?
It's test your might, test your sight, test your... Oh, man. I don't know. Strength? No. That's might.
I'll say test your luck. You'll say...